And hello, everybody. This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and welcome to yet another episode of Coffee and Conversation. I am here with my boy, my guy.
Hello.
Who are you?
Everybody.
Sable. Everyone's favorite villain.
Everyone's favorite villain?
Everyone's favorite villain.
You are not the Joker.
He's not everyone's favorite villain anymore.
Oh, who is?
Killmonger.
No, he's not everybody's favorite. He's a few people's favorite.
Unless you're racist. You racist.
Seriously. We're not going to have that kind of show. I promise you, we're not going to have that kind of show. Ah, man.
I mean, what other reason is there not to like Killmonger? He had a positive message at the end.
I'm not saying that you don't, Killmonger is somebody that you don't like. But what I am going to say, and this is for real, is there is Killmonger, who's a good villain. I ain't saying he's not a good villain.
Great villain.
But what I'm also saying is a lot of people like Thanos a lot more right now.
Ooh. You know what's crazy? There is Marvel, like, to me, doing this thing where, like, they're introducing these villains that are so much deeper because at their core, technically, they're right.
See, here's the thing. It's you might agree with them that they're right, but that's not what's important. What's important is that they think that they're right, and the audience can understand why they think they're right. Okay?
Because every villain thinks he's right, but it's like, okay, what evidence? Like, show me something. Show me more than I'm gonna rob this banker. This is bad because I say so. I'm like, no, show me.
Yeah.
Prove it. And I think Killmonger and Thanos both did that.
Yeah. I think a lot of the Marvel villains did that, believe it or not. Loki was one of the first ones to really do that thing.
Okay, if you really look at it, but just like at surface level, it just seems like he was mischievous to be mischievous. I liked Ultron.
Yeah, now see, Ultron, not one of my favorite villains.
I loved him.
But he very much really showed, like, he had a mission, he knew what he thought, and that was where he went.
Okay.
So here's a funny thing, though. You know that announcement that we just put out on the Book of Face, like just a few minutes ago?
Okay.
Yeah.
The Book of Face. I like that.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing. Here's the real funny thing about that. I literally have another computer going right now. Like I said, you guys, if you guys saw me in here, I'm like an octopus. I got hands all over the place. And on the on my Facebook tab right now, I'm not going to show it, but on my tab right now on my laptop, it's pulling up Donald Glover, Eat His Heart and Take His Power. Because I don't know why. I really don't know why. I did that whole thing, and Facebook is like, hey, Childish Gambino, Eat His Heart and Take His Power, is doing something. I don't know why.
What is he doing?
I don't know. I'm not looking.
We should be. I feel like it's something cool.
Hmm?
I feel like it's something cool.
It's always something cool. That's why we gotta eat his heart and take his power. Anyway, so it's been a couple of weeks since we've had this show. Quite a few weeks. San Diego has come and gone. There's been work. What's been going on with you?
Oh my God! So for those of you that don't know, I'm a comic book artist, colorist currently. I'm on 4 books, slightly behind on all 4 books. And being slightly behind on all 4 books is like being really behind on 1 book.
Okay.
So that kind of sucks. Got to play catch up. I need to finish them all like literally this week. We're shooting a movie Friday. I've been like preparing for that, like making sure like the people that I hired like are doing what they're supposed to do, or the people I brought in doing what they're supposed to do, because it looks bad on me if they mess up. So I'm like hitting people up like, hey, do you know what time to come in? I haven't gotten the call sheet. So I got to email this person to email another person to get a call sheet, but he can't send a call sheet till the other person calls and confirms.
Yeah, so you kind of know what it's like to sit in this chair, don't you?
God, it's like, can you please respond? Like, time is like so important. Like, it's like a domino effect. If one person doesn't do something right, then that messes up this other thing that this other person was supposed to do.
Yeah. Welcome to Big Boy School.
August just started and it's already kicking my ass like it wants the title. You ain't gonna win, August. You ain't gonna win.
Well, it's good to know that you have the proper attitude about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole thing. And, As you keep going, I promise you, my Perry Whiting of your ideas will not be as annoying. I promise.
That's good to hear.
Hmm?
I said that's good to hear.
Oh, it's not going to be different. I'm just saying you're going to be taking it better.
Oh,
You know,
God.
because you're going to be coming to me with ideas having already thought about that stuff, is my point. You know,
Interesting. Trying to see into the future.
it's an old man, young man thing, man.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It
I like to
really is.
pretend to be an old soul, be fake woke.
Ain't nothing wrong with being an old soul, bro. It's just a matter of what have you done that you can remember. My soul is older than time itself, but I can't tell you what was going on in the year 402 in Scotland.
I've done a lot of things that I can remember. They're just all terrible things from when I was a child or young adult.
It's all right. You were high. We were all high.
I don't even do drugs. I just pretend to be high. I think that's worse. Blame it on some things that I didn't do. Like, yeah, I was drunk, but really sober.
All right, all right. I guess I'm kind of with you on that. Anyway, so apologies to you guys out there in the internet land because I forgot. Although I did thank you for showing up, and again, thank you.
I'm
Thank
not
you, my
sorry,
man. Thank
internet.
you. You know, thank you. But I did not thank, some of our favorite people out there, and those are the ones that are watching, but specifically the ones in our chat. Hey, Vixen's in there saying, "Oh, what about the Joker though?" Or should it be, "What about?" I'm guessing Vixen's white.
Uh-oh.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But yeah, so hey, thanks for showing up. And she's all, one week in August. You got this. You got this, man. You got this.
August came through like a gangster. He was like, "Where my rent money?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? You had to do this too and this. Oh, you still owe this on that credit card bill from last month. Give me that too out your check. Dang, August."
Yeah. No. Oh, hey. So yeah, tell you the truth. Yeah, I got into a car accident on Saturday. That was awesome.
Is that why the bike wasn't out front?
Oh no. The bike is actually parked in the parking space.
Oh, okay, because I was like, damn. I was like, oh, is he here?
Yeah, no. But yeah, I took off. I took off a lady's back bumper on the bike.
That could have ended bad. That could have ended bad.
Oh yeah, I could be dead right now.
You could be dead.
I could be dead, but accidents happen. I messed up.
I would bring you back.
Huh?
I would bring you back though.
Believe me.
Sacrifice the soul of just 3 innocent children. Only 3. If you require 4, you gotta stay dead. You're only worth 3 innocent children.
It's more like 8, dude.
I think I can get it done with 3.
I've done some things.
Oh, okay. That's a little dark. I was joking, internets.
Yeah, but I'm all about full disclosure. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just letting you know, I've seen things.
So, internet, you need 8 innocent children to resurrect a dead body. Write that down. 8.
No. To resurrect this one.
Okay. What? So, was a normal person like 2? I feel like I could get Satan over with 3 though. Like I could just got to get back. Like, look, Lucifer, I got 3 right now.
Louis got nothing to do with this, dude. He don't want me.
Man.
I'm bound to other things, many other things, like a whole lot of the stuff that we gonna be talking about today. I'm bound to them. I'm bound to them internets, because if I go down, people are gonna be like, no, you can't go down. You can't go down. Because I demand to hear your opinion on all this nerdy stuff that I like. Because I swear, if I don't get your opinions, then I don't have anybody to be pissed off at. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. You want to be mad at me for actually thinking logically? You can.
But yeah, I've been adulting hard these last few weeks. Just a lot, man. Adulting hard. Don't grow up, kids. It's a trap.
You guys, this millennial stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love your vernaculars. I recently heard first year college students calling good music bop. Like, bop. Yeah, that track is bop. I'm like, bop?
That's a new one. I haven't even heard that one yet.
Yeah, welcome to the old time.
You were out vetting for young children to sacrifice, setting yourself up an insurance policy when you heard that one.
I was having lunch with my kid.
I forgot you were a parent.
And boom, that is why we have the dynamic we have.
Indeed.
It's so nice to watch somebody deflate. Yeah, you were out there looking for sacrifices.
I mean, he told me he was having lunch with his kid, but you know, we don't really know what he was doing. Internets, we really don't know.
Yeah, and with that, I'm gonna say, like, you know, again, it's been a bit. We did a lot of cosplay stuff. Talked to a few people. We got a few appointments going on later on tonight with some game people. And I've been falling behind with my comics. I've been really falling behind with my comics, unfortunately. Although I did finally finish Superior Spider-Man. That was kind of my jam, but again, Marvel. You know, when I finally do get into Marvel Terrestrial, man, he's looking at me like he gonna kill me right now. Look at this guy.
I just wanted to know what you were gonna say.
No, I was loving the story. I was loving it, but whenever we deal with Marvel Terrestrial, what we get is great story, and then
they don't know how to set up other arcs.
They don't know how to end.
That too.
They don't know how to end a story, and that is one of the reasons I stopped. Like, I was there in early 2000s. I was loving Civil War. I was loving Planet Hulk. I was loving World War Hulk. And then what happened? I quit. You have to stop me. I'm going to break the world. Really? All that stuff. I mean, freaking Infinity Gauntlet. And again, I like Marvel Cosmic, but Thanos does everything and does all that stuff for death and replaces the Celestials.
Thanos wins finished, right?
Huh?
Thanos wins finished like a couple months ago, right?
Yeah.
Did you read that?
No, I haven't. You know why?
That was good.
You know why? Because at the end of Infinity Gauntlet, he gives up because Adam Warlock convinces him that he just don't want it bad enough. I mean, really. I
was very satisfied with the ending to Thanos wins. I felt like that was the only true way to end it.
Well,
and it was, but I'm not gonna lie, it was similar to how it ended in Infinity Gauntlet, but it made a little bit more sense. It's like he won, he had everything, but he was like just alone, sad, and pathetic. Like he didn't want to destroy the universe, kill everybody. He wanted the chase of trying to kill everybody. Because once he did it, there was nothing left. No generation of heroes rose up after. It was just Thanos is the end all be all, and it's like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah, you see.
And then Death still didn't want him.
Yeah, exactly. Because Death has been screwing with Thanos forever. Ever since he was a teenager. It was pretty much like, hey, you want a piece of this? Hey, how you doing? You want a piece of this? You want a piece of this? No. So, yeah, when it comes down to that, see, I'm already getting stuff in the chat. Some people can't hear me. Some people can. It's, you know.
As long as they can all hear me, I'm what's really important.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just being cocky.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So that's one of them things. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Now y'all should be able to hear me, and yeah, seriously, I did 2 sound checks, so if y'all can't hear me, it's on you this time. So yeah, so what we were talking about today was we got some thoughts on a couple of trailers, okay? And it really comes down to one major thing when it comes to the thoughts on trailers. He wanted to bring up one subject. Give it a smile. Yeah. But I didn't want to tackle that subject until we really had it set, you know, set and all that jazz. Ooh, man. Okay, yeah. I got a thing here. Okay. See? Look at that.
Well, what thing do you have?
I got one of the wires on my thing started getting exposed.
I thought it was candy or something.
Oh, no. Just coffee.
Candy.
Lots and lots of coffee. But, so we wanted to talk about a sensitive subject, and I'm like, nope, not yet. Not until our presentation gets a little better. Because, yeah. So, there we go. But, we do have a few things that we need to talk about. You know, because there is a trailer going around. Am I right?
Are you? Are you?
Oh, yeah. No,
is it going around?
Oh, it's going around.
Okay.
There's a trailer going around, and that trailer has a lot of people mad for a lot of reasons. Whole lot of people mad for a whole lot of reasons. And again, I got my problems with it. Mr. Nance has his problems with it.
I have several problems, and they all have easy fixes.
Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of problems. Now, one problem that we are not going to mention today, we already talked about before the show, but we got a lot of other problems with that, so we're going to talk about those. But that's going to be our real big segment of this show. What? You're looking at me like, I want to hurry up and get to the argument.
Sharpening my sword as we speak.
You know, they don't need to see what your hands are doing below camera. You know, and that ain't a sword. Anyway, you know, a spear I would give you. Matter of fact, you should say spear because, you know, they tend to be a little bit longer than swords. But
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I know. I'm making jokes. I'm tired today. I'm so tired. So we are going to actually address something because, one, I got to put this out there. I am sick and tired of this fan rivalry between Marvel and DC. Okay, I'm really tired of it.
We need it. It created all of our favorite heroes. For those of you that don't know, for a minute DC was like Marvel and DC was ripping off one another with the heroes and villains.
Yeah, well, it's not that. I'm not concerned about the comic book. I'm talking about the movies.
Just the fan base.
Just the fan base of the movies.
Okay, of the movies. Okay.
Okay, because the comic fans, look, part of being a comic fan is doing that whole thing, but I understand being a fan. I understand being a fanatic. But there is such a level of toxicity with these movie fans that I'm just kind of going, look, stop. It's okay for people to like something that you don't like.
No, it's not. That's
yeah,
it. No, it's not.
All right, yeah, troll. Sitting under a bridge and just throwing your opinions out there.
I'm going to say this.
Yeah?
The fan wars can end once DC just admits that they lost. Just stop it, DC. You make great comic books. You have amazing animated movies. But when it comes to that theater, sit down.
So you're saying that they should just stop?
No, just admit you've lost. Like, you're always going to be C-level comic book hero movies with inflated budgets.
And how can they do that? How can they actually do that? Like, you want a public statement of, oh, Disney and Marvel
I just need the redundant memes to disappear. That would help.
Like,
that would help. Like, a few blood sacrifices here and there.
You know, the reductive memes. What do you mean?
Like, I'm tired of seeing the memes where it's like, oh, DC is more dope, Marvel is like all comedy. Like, no, it's not all comedy, bro. They killed Spider-Man, bro. That was a thing.
Okay.
It scarred me forever. There was nothing funny about that. All right, who did DC kill? Superman, then brought him right back, like the next movie.
No, I'm kind of with you on that whole thing. But here's the gig: the memes and all that stuff. That ain't the companies. Them's the fans.
I know.
And I'm sorry, DC fans, and you know what? I prefer Warner over Disney every day of the week, twice on Tuesdays.
Why?
Because I was more of a whimsical kid and I wasn't a little girl, so I didn't care about Bambi or the Little Mermaid.
Let's talk about Warner today, though. Let's talk about Warner today.
Well, hold up. This has a real thing.
Okay.
Because a Disney fan is a Disney fan. And most fans of Disney are fanatic over the course of their entire damn lives.
Is that what's wrong with me? Is that what's wrong with me?
Well, you know what? Disney puts out good work. I'm not saying they don't. Pixar definitely won me over, but it's not a fucking religion. I like good work. That's good work.
Toy Story is a religion. You take that back.
No, Toy
you don't
Story
have Andy scarred on the bottom of your foot?
No, I don't.
Oh, just me? Okay.
Yeah, that's sick. You know, but I mean, as far as my childhood goes, I was more Don Bluth. Yeah, I didn't care about Bambi or Pinocchio, but I was down for Secret of NIMH, Land Before Time, American Tail. You know, that's where my childhood was.
Land Before Time was cool. Remember when Littlefoot's mom died?
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yeah.
He didn't have a dad.
No, his mom and dad got killed. He was taking that whole trip so he could go live with his grandmama.
Yeah.
You know?
I wanted the T-Rex to just kill everything.
Yeah, watch it again.
The later movies got more friendlier, but the first like 2 or 3 were cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the first because Don Bluth believes of dragging kids through hell and giving them a happy ending. And you know where I grew up. You live 10 blocks from there.
This is true.
So as far as like, the Disney princess syndrome, sorry, not my bag. But when it came to Disney or Warner Brothers, I was more Looney Tunes than Mickey Mouse. Okay,
Me too.
But my loyalties are really, really toward quality. Okay, and I'm gonna say that because you said let's talk about Warner Brothers and DC now.
Okay.
Okay. Marvel has not been putting out quality work. Or sorry, Warner Brothers has not been putting out quality
you saw that
work.
blasphemy, internet?
Yeah, I know. At me, whatever. No, it was a misspeak.
Okay.
Warner Brothers has not been putting out good superhero live action stuff. Okay, Disney and Marvel has been knocking it out of the park. Of their, what was it? 18 movies in 10 years.
Killing the game.
Yes, seriously killing the game. Of the 18 movies they did, I don't love 3. 3 out of 18.
What are they?
I
need to hear them.
Oh, the ones I don't love?
Yeah.
Iron Man 2, Thor 2, and Iron Man 3.
You all right. You all right.
What?
Because it's crazy, and you probably didn't think about that. We would agree, but there are only 4 movies that I don't like, and they're those 3 plus the first Thor. It was garbage.
See,
they didn't understand what to do with Thor. It was too much of a love story.
See, I really enjoyed the first Thor. I thought it was great for what it was, and I understand why they had to make it what it was. But I look at this from a different point of view. Not a comic fan point of view, but a movie maker point of view. And from a filmmaker's point of view, the first Thor was exactly what it needed to be. Dark World, on the other hand, sorry, bro. Nah, bro. Nah.
So, what I wanted from Thor was what they gave me with Iron Man 1.
Which was?
You literally brought Iron Man to life. You turned Robert Downey Jr. into Tony Stark. Like, that was the comic book brought to life and modernized. I wanted that from the Thor movie. I wanted to see Thor in Asgard before. You should have brought him to Earth when you were ready to do Avengers. Don't bring him to Earth in his own movie, then he mysteriously goes back and come. No, that was burnt out. Just the first 2 movies, he should have been in Asgard.
You know what? I completely agree. I really do. Matter of fact, when Black Panther came out, I said Ryan Coogler took our notes from Thor and thought about it. Yeah. Because Thor, for what it was, I thought it was great. And what they had to do was Disney had to push Chris Hemsworth as a god on Earth while the executives were trying to make up their mind on if we're getting Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's Thor or if we were getting the ultimate Thor who's supposed to be a god but everybody's not sure and they just think he's a mutant who's crazy. You know what I mean? So they were riding that line.
I liked that aspect, but I just think if you want to go hard in Avengers, no, give me pure Son of Odin, Asgardian Thor.
Oh, you know what? Again, like I said, I'm cool with that. But second, the first Thor movie, okay, was what? The second? No, it was the third. No, second. Second movie in this Marvel Cinematic experiment. And I say experiment because it wasn't a solid universe until Winter Soldier. That's what concreted. Like, this is a thing. Okay. So it was still an experiment. They were still feeling their way around with the first Thor, which means if Kenneth Branagh, all bless his name, when it comes to Shakespeare, wanted to film that movie mostly in Asgard, the budget would have gone up another $50 million, and Disney didn't want to pay for that. So they did the best they could with what they had, and they got a lot more than the damn Green Lantern, but they still filmed the movie in reverse.
I think they weren't confident that this was going to be a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So I'm going to give them that. Actually, Thor 1 and 2 weren't even terrible movies. They were just, I would say, bad Thor movies, or at least not what I wanted.
See, that's where we disagree. I say Dark World was garbage. I say Dark World was total garbage. Iron Man 2 didn't give me what I wanted. And I will tell you, you know what I wanted out of Iron Man 2? I wanted the theme of science versus magic. That's what Iron Man always has been. You got rich Tony Stark industrialist versus the Mandarin, who has 2 things that make him a villain. 1, he's Chinese industrialist, And 2, he got them rings.
He didn't have none of that.
He's got magic rings. And nope, they made it my tech and my insecurities against somebody else's tech and their insecurities. And that wasn't the story I wanted to see. But Iron Man 2, Mickey Rourke was wasted. Whiplash was wasted.
Right?
You know? So,
and he came off as like such a great Whiplash.
You know, and again, I've been in Mickey Rourke's corner since Angel Heart, bro. Mm-hmm. Actually, I've been there since 9.5 weeks. So I mean, the dude's got presence, you know, but he wasn't the cool Mickey Rourke I wanted, and he wasn't the intimidating he really wasn't the intimidating Whiplash that I remember from the comic books or the cartoons or the video games.
I would agree.
And I'm not upset that they did something different. It's just the different thing that they did wasn't as good as anything else that was out there.
So here's my pet peeve when it comes to comic book movies about doing things different. Mm-hmm. It is my firm belief that no matter what it is, never do different from the source material unless your different is irrefutably better.
See,
and I can give an example.
Okay.
Watchmen.
Okay.
Watchmen, the ending.
Dude,
it made so much more sense.
Hold up. The ending to Zack Snyder's Watchmen is still a point of contention with comic fans. It really was.
For purists, but let's be honest. If there was a change to be made, that was the one to make, rather than some giant octopus monster. Like, come on.
No, the truth be told, I like the setup for the giant octopus monster, but for the story that was told on film, I think it was better. I will go even as far as to say the changes that were made to V for Vendetta from the Wachowski brothers was a better telling of the story for that medium.
I think everyone agrees with that except Alan Moore.
You know, but see, here's the thing. I don't mind when people try something new and different, okay? That's, 'cause not everything is going to work. Not everything is going to be for everybody. However, I'm not going to say don't stray from the source material unless it's better, because a lot of source material did not age well. What I will say is that if you're going to make
modernizing
changes,
it like they did in Iron Man 1?
Honestly, in Iron Man 1,
because I don't consider modernizing an actual change. It's like, hey, this doesn't work anymore. Let's do that, but what would that be today? Which is, it's this.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you on that. And again, what we're talking about broad thing. I'm talking methodology. Okay. Change the source material all you want. Just stand by that change and make sure that that change holds up to everything else that you present. Okay, that's where I'm sitting. Make it solid. It doesn't have to be good. I don't have to like it. Okay, my example of that is with one of the trailers that we're going to talk about today. But
change the source material all you want.
Yeah,
no,
change the source
here's
material.
why I don't like that, because what these movie directors like to do is they like to take an IP that's already going to bring it in, and they want to take credit for things.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I'm going to give you my vision of Batman. I'm going to give you my vision of this. And it's like, your vision sucks. We don't want to see your vision. We want to see a movie adaptation of the comic books and TV shows we grew up watching.
And
just directed
sometimes,
by you.
Sometimes, well, okay, you want to see that, what you grew up watching. Here's the gig.
Okay.
They give no damns about us. They care about our kids.
DC better start to.
Huh?
DC better start to care about us, or we're not going to watch those shitty movies they keep making.
Really? Because Justice League got made.
And it was trash.
But it got made, and it made its money back.
It didn't make as much as it was supposed to make.
It didn't make as much money as it was supposed to.
But it's a slippery slope. We're gonna see what Aquaman does. We're gonna see what Wonder Woman 2 does.
Yeah, and see that's exactly my point. My point is, the stuff that's made for us, we can tell it's made for us, and it pleases us. But I'm gonna let you know something from an older man's perspective. You are getting to the age where it ain't about you no more with entertainment. It really ain't. Now, I will tell you the moment that sorry.
I got a rebuttal to that. You know why it's always about me? Because me and my friends, we go see movies 2 and 3 times. These kids or new fans you're trying to bring up, they pirate it. So who just learned that lesson?
I ain't gonna deny
Disney
that.
with Star Wars.
Yeah, I ain't gonna deny that. Okay, but here's the gig. They haven't made it to that mindset yet.
They will.
Okay, because here's the gig. Those kids who pirate it here, they don't care. You want to know why there's still Ice Age movies?
Why?
Russia.
True.
You want to know?
And it's huge in China too, right?
Yeah, China, Russia. That's why we keep getting Ice Age, Madagascar. Guess what? They ain't for us.
Okay.
We ain't that market. We ain't that demographic.
That's different though. Ain't no Ice Age comic books to buy. Ice Age don't have a comic book fan base.
And what those people are saying is, if you want the comic book, then go read the damn comic book. These movies, we don't care about you. We know that you are going to come see this movie as soon as your 5 and 6 year old starts whining and yelling and screaming and breaking things and getting beat up for being the only kid at school that hasn't yet.
That's why we got to come together, comic book family. When our kids ask to see these movies, we got to start beating them. This is on you, DC.
Now, comic book fans, as much as I am one, we are not the majority at large. I mean, look at how many changes they made, and I'm talking Marvel. Look at how many changes they made to my man, Captain America.
You know why it was okay to make those changes, as many as they did? They kept the spirit of Steve Rogers.
And see that, thank you, game, set, match.
And
it's not about being better. Right. It's about continuing the spirit so that there is something.
That's what I was trying to get to. But when you make a change, if you keep the spirit of what that character was and what they stood for, it's okay.
Exactly.
But a lot of times they make these changes and it's not even, it's something to, it's what you wanted or what you interpreted it as, but you never even, like a lot of these directors didn't watch the show, didn't read the comic books. They claim to, but you can tell like, nah, because you would have never made that specific decision.
Yeah. Classic example,
Gotham.
Someone that I think is a really good director who got the wrong project, and that is Zack Snyder on Superman.
You think Zack Snyder's a good director?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Did you enjoy 300?
300 is all right. I'm glad you brought that up. He's not a good director for 300. You know why? Because you know who wrote the screenplay for 300?
Yeah, Frank Miller.
Right. He just turned the comic book into a movie, and then he was, oh my god, these scenes, how did you bring, like, I looked at these pages, he was like, oh, you know, I just envisioned. You didn't envision anything, Zach. You read the comic book.
Do you know what a director does?
Yes, but let's be honest. What a lot of these directors are doing is they're taking the source material and they're bending it to their vision. I feel like he won. I don't think that 300 was Zack Snyder's vision. I feel he literally brought the comic book to life.
He brought it to life with his vision, and you know why
it was just so similar to the comic book. I can't say it was his vision. It was very
similar to the comic book, but that doesn't mean it wasn't his vision. My rebut point on that, okay? Same writer, different director, doing what the writer wanted to do. The spirit.
The mistake with the spirit was it shouldn't have been PG-13.
Did you read The Spirit?
There's like sex scenes in that book.
Not as explicit. It wasn't like, okay, The Spirit.
I got some Will Eisner's with some.
The spirit of the Spirit comic book.
The spirit of the Spirit
was totally lost.
It's like a bad sequel.
Yeah, it really was. But yeah, the spirit, you know, the essence, the soul
gone
of the Spirit, but completely gone. But you know what? It's what Frank Miller wrote.
It was like they liked Sin City, so make that, but with this guy.
Yes. Okay, and let's talk about Robert Rodriguez.
Oy vey.
Robert Rodriguez directed the hell out of Sin City. Yet another Frank Miller vision.
Amazing.
Okay.
Didn't like the sequel. Didn't like the sequel.
I didn't bother watching it. But my whole point is that Robert Rodriguez's vision brought Frank Miller's thing to life. So, I mean, are you saying that Robert Rodriguez isn't a good director because he just did what Frank Miller wrote?
It's like you can't, to me, get credit for being a creative when you take the exact same thing. You can just get congratulated for not messing it up.
See,
but those things are equally important.
And again, when you give credit to a director for being creative, you have to know how a director is creative. That's why I asked, do you even know what a director does?
You don't have to be creative on an IP that's not yours to be considered a good director.
Yeah, you do.
I don't believe that, because it's like, all right, when I was watching this interview by on Vlad when they were talking about Kanye West, how he's overly creative, like creative is a clock. So it's like you get to 12 o'clock and you want to push it and you're all the way back at 1. You got to start over. I feel like that's what a lot of directors do when they pick up these IPs. It's already great and it's like, oh, but what if it was this, or let's change this? Like no, because now you're at 1 o'clock again. Just pick this up, bring it to life.
No, what a director has to do,
what they have to do, or what they do.
No, what they have to do is they have to bring it to life, but no matter what they do, they bring it to life through their own filter.
Their own filter isn't always good. Sometimes that filter dirty.
You're absolutely right. Again, Zack Snyder with Superman.
Zack Snyder with everything outside of 300.
I gotta disagree. Again, I loved Day of the Dead. I loved 300. I loved The Watchmen.
Okay.
You know,
but
so
Watchmen. Okay.
I'm just saying that Superman was not a good call because the way that he sees it, he brought Superman.
He didn't
to
understand
life.
Superman.
Yeah, and he doesn't respect heroism. Okay?
You can't be anywhere near a superhero IP if that's what you believe, because you just can't write it.
You know, again, and I mean, Steve Ditko was a freaking he was an objectivist just like Zack Snyder, which is why which is why Alan Moore wrote Rorschach as a parody of The Question. You know, and he really was, but Zack Snyder's filter.
I thought it was
Rorschach
because
the standout character of the whole movie.
He had quit DC and he had originally pitched those heroes, and he still wanted to keep the Question. And Rorschach was supposed to be the embodiment of what he wanted the Question to be.
No, it was Alan Moore doing a parody of what Steve Ditko wrote.
You gotta watch Greater Creators, and he talks about that.
Okay, I will definitely do that because, you know, I've been studying Alan Moore for 20 years.
Gotta watch that.
Moore is my boy. You know, Moore is my boy.
It's the Tim Burton of comic books.
He should be sweating hard because Morrison is catching up to him on the same subject matter so quick. But yeah, so when a director is bringing their vision to life, they have to be creative in the process of showing what they see. And that's the thing. A director has the job of putting together the crew and deciding what goes through, what is good, what is bad, what isn't good, what conveys the story that they want to tell. And so, like I said, Zack is a good director. He's a great director with visuals. He knows how to tell a visual story. Now, does that mean I liked Man of Steel?
Yes.
I thought it was all right.
Oh, you thought it was all right?
Does that mean I liked Batman vs. Superman? The more I watch it and the more time that passes, the less I like it. Because
if you couldn't watch that movie one time and realize it was trash, you have a problem.
Really?
That was not a Batman versus Superman movie. That was a segue to Wonder Woman.
I give you that. But could it possibly be that I was just excited to see my heroes on
screen? We
screen?
both were. That's why I left that theater heartbroken.
Yeah, you see, I left it grateful that I got something.
I didn't. I'd have rather you kept me waiting for another 10 years. This is what you was going to give me.
Yeah, but yeah, so where did we get on this subject? Oh yeah, so we got on this because I had to bring up creativity of directors and all that jazz. Okay, so it is important to pick a right director and a right thing, but again, with this rivalry between the Marvel movies and the Warner Brothers movies,
it's not a rivalry. It's a war of attrition. You're
losing
DC.
No, it's not a war of attrition. Marvel wins. They have more product. They have a higher quality product, and it's consistently better. So, truth be told, what Warner Brothers needs to do, and this is coming from a fan of Warner Brothers, is just to don't worry about Marvel and do what they are good at.
I'm glad you brought that up because I honestly feel like we got that rushed Justice League movie because they wanted their own Infinity War.
Yeah, they were.
And it's like, no, man, you got to build up. Like, don't try to follow Marvel's formula. Find your own thing that works.
I'm not gonna lie, they could have pulled it off if they had just thought through. Again, their pre-production was completely out the window.
Obviously.
Okay? Because there have been things where it's like, I'm opening up with the team, and then you get the origin story of everybody else. You know, you're looking at me like, no.
I would agree.
Know, like Mission Impossible, Star Trek, Star Wars, Firefly, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The team is already there.
You just slowly get to learn them through like different episodes and movies.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I would agree.
Everybody has their time to shine. And if Warner Brothers had just said, no, we're bringing them the Justice League, and then everybody is getting their own thing, like they did with the animated show, then we would have had something good. But as soon as DC got the competitive old men out of the freaking offices at Warner Brothers and said, leave us alone, let us make what we know our fans want to see, we got Wonder Woman. And that was an objectively good movie.
Could have ended like 30 minutes earlier. Like
I agree.
The last arc just was like, oh.
We didn't need the fight with the big gray villain.
Didn't.
You know, we didn't need that. But you know what? The 2 hours and 10 minutes before that was an objectively good movie. And if they can get the executives out of the room long enough to do that again without them coming back in and say, but where's the big fight with the gray villain, the garbage pile in the sky?
And I don't think they can.
Hmm?
I don't think they can. I think DC, well, the execs are so scared that they're going to just repeat the same formula from the first movie, just different.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't have faith in you, Warner.
No, honestly, that is a fair assessment. Okay? That really is. And personally, I'm sick of the fans going, haha, Marvel is better than DC. It's like, you know what? The devil doesn't yell. Power does not rub noses in it. So, guess what? The Marvel movies are great. They are put together on, like, as a filmmaker, I don't find much wrong with them. As a comic fan, I don't find much wrong with them. Fox is 50-50 right now, you know, because X-Men 1, X-Men 2.
Trash.
No, X-Men 1 was great.
Trash. Did you read the comic books as a kid? Did you even watch the cartoon?
Dude, I was reading when Claremont was writing.
Bro,
and you know,
I'm a little kid. As soon as I saw them trying to set up some type of weird love interest with Wolverine and Rogue, I was like, what are you doing?
They didn't set up a love
interest. Bro, go back to the scene where like she's like trying to molest him as he's sleeping and he accidentally stabs her.
Dude, I think you're reading in a little bit. She saw him like being all weird and freshed out, but even that, making Rogue the analog to Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde had a thing for Wolverine at the beginning.
Just give us Kitty Pryde.
You know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Okay, I'm not, because I happen to really like Kitty Pryde. She's one of my favorite X-Men. But because of the cartoon that came out in 1990, no one really knows who Kitty Pryde is, so they had to give us Rogue in order for product stuff. But we can't get the box office draw with Rogue if we don't do Gambit, so what then? But again, you know, I know that those are good. Like, the first movie was not trash. It wasn't what I wanted, but it also wasn't terrible. When I put it on, I watch it all the way through. If I find it on, like if I'm flipping through channels, I watch it all the way through. Part 2 was even better. It really was.
No.
However, Part 3, Wolverine, you know, those like 2 or 3 movies they made before X-Men First Class, hot garbage. Hot
First Class
garbage.
And Old Man Logan or Logan are the only good X-Men movies that Fox ever made.
I think they're the only ones that you like, but there's a difference between quality and preference. Maybe. You know.
Yeah, I just look at potential. It's like, you had all the assets to do this. Why don't you just do this? This is what the X-Men. They didn't keep the spirit of the X-Men. They kept trying to give it a main character. Like, no, stop trying to make it revolve around Wolverine. It's all the X-Men. They all need to get their fair. Like, let's see them working together and get to know all of them. That's what the books were about. They're like a thrown together family that has to save the world.
I'm right there with you, and you know what?
We didn't get it in any movie. Only thing we got close to it was First Class.
At First Class, we got that.
Yeah.
Although they really decided to focus on Charles and Eric,
which wasn't a bad thing. I like that. It
really wasn't. And with Days of Future Past, Days of Future Past, which in my opinion was the last good X-Men movie. They did do the whole. Oh, strike that. Logan was, but. They did do we're trying to make Wolverine the main character, but that's really more of a we have to make very clear that both of these franchises are tied together. And I give them a lot of leeway because they were the first to really do it in the 21st century. You know, X-Men 1 came out in 2000. They hadn't felt their way. And one of the reasons that Marvel is doing so good is that they're looking at the mistakes of everybody else, from Blade all the way to the current Avengers movie, and they're looking at everybody's mistakes, including their own. And they've got the freedom to do that. Fox is kind of trying to do that. They really did that with Logan, which is my favorite movie of the entire X-Men franchise. And Deadpool's kind of a cheat. But again, Fox is at 50-50. So Warner Brothers, they're kind of starting to get their ball rolling, but really they need to get their thoughts straight.
Well, good thing we don't have to worry about Fox anymore because Disney's got everything that they needed back.
No, we don't need to worry about Fox. We got to worry about Sony.
Do we?
Yes.
I think once the Venom movie fails, they'll get it.
Silk is already lined up, dude.
That's okay, but once Venom fails, and those investors like, hey, they want, and then they compare that to what the new Spider-Man does on Disney, they're gonna get on the Universal train. It's like, look, just lease the characters. We're gonna keep them because we need the money, but we're just gonna let you make the movies. Give us $40 million a movie.
See, the truth is, I hope.
I know Venom's gonna flop.
I don't know. I know Venom is going to flop in the U.S.
I know 4 people that have been to the test screenings, and I don't want to give any spoilers out, but it's essentially Upgrade.
Yeah. Yeah, and, I can totally see that.
In the original, I don't know how much they've changed, but you actually don't. There's not a lot. The what my friend told me is the Venom that you see in the trailers. Those are all the scenes that he's actually Venom. The rest of the movie, he's just a guy in a hoodie running around on a motorcycle doing stuff.
I can totally see that.
That's not what I want from a Venom movie.
Yeah, you know what? I hope. I honestly hope that it Judge Dredd fails.
They're doing a new Judge Dredd?
No.
Oh.
But my point is.
Oh, you hope it fails, but then it has like this fan base that every year buys a copy of the movie or something like that?
No. It's not a matter of that. I saw Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone in 1996.
That movie, I love all the Judge Dredd movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I thought that was garbage. I thought it was a steaming pile of brightly colored trash.
It is a guilty pleasure of mine. I like the robots. Okay. I'm in a mech, kind of reminded me buffed out T800s.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad that you were admitting it's a preference.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was a kid. If I probably watched it again, I haven't seen that movie since I was 13. If I watch it again, I like this, child trash.
Okay. Did you read Judge Dredd when you were a kid?
No, not when I was a kid.
I did. All right. So I got it. And
your opinion supersedes mine then, because you're what I would call a true fan.
No. It's not a matter of true fan.
It is.
It strayed too far from the source material and tone, and it made one mistake.
Oh.
One mistake that broke the spirit, and it was based on pure vanity. Here's the gig. In the comics, I could let everything else go except for one thing, and you know what that is? Dredd never removes his mask.
I was going to say, I knew that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, and the reason that he removed his mask is because Sylvester Stallone would not do the movie unless he could show his face. And that movie failed. It failed hard, which is sad because...
Do you think it failed because he showed his face, though? What's the correlation here?
Again, it strayed really far from the source material, but it failed for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
Failed for a lot of reasons. But it would have done 40% better had he not shown his face.
You think so?
I'm sure.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Because
Sly, bruh.
Sly or not,
bring him to the table.
You could have Sly all day. Would you have? I don't know. Who was? Would you trust Henry Cavill as Superman if he wore a mask?
I'm not too fond of Henry Cavill as Superman.
Would you trust anyone as Superman if he wore a mask?
No.
Why?
Because you need to see Superman.
Case in point.
Okay.
Now, that movie did so terribly.
But that goes against what you were saying about how there's so many more non-comic book fans than they are comic book fans. So wouldn't the non-comic book fans have went to go see the movie?
Oh, they did.
And
they really did. And believe me, They didn't like it either.
Okay, but with that being said, they're not liking the movie. They're not disliking the movie because he took his mask off.
No, they're not. But what I'm saying is the comic fans would have been that extra 40% that would have liked it.
True.
Had he kept his mask on.
True.
Okay.
Though I am not of age to completely agree with you because I don't know what the atmosphere was like back then, but I will take.
It was less toxic than today. But my point is that movie failed so hard that when a company decided to reboot it, we got Judge Dredd with Carl Urban.
Was that the what was that 2014?
Yeah, Dredd 24, Dredd 3D.
That was dope.
Yeah,
I don't like the 3D stuff, but like I love the story how they were like it was kind of like the raid. They were like going up from the building and the scene where it's like they threw the person off the roof and they were already dead, but to them they were still falling. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
And the way that Carl Urban played the part, that was the Dredd from the comics. Okay.
I want a sequel to that, but I don't think we're gonna get one.
Everybody wants Dredd 2.
Didn't it like flop?
Huh?
Didn't it flop or
it
like barely made it money?
But it only had like a 3-week run.
Yeah, something crazy like that. They let trash run longer than that these days.
Yeah, exactly. However,
that wasn't fair.
As soon as that thing hit DVD,
I heard, yeah.
Oh, dude, we are talking Evil Dead levels of love.
Yeah.
Okay, that ruled DVD and VOD, and everybody who liked it has at least 2 copies of it.
I'm gonna buy it. I don't know that I'm gonna buy it, but I like that
seriously, it's because that movie. But that movie was so good. Because the directors looked at the 1996 Judge Dredd and said, no, what did they get wrong? And Warner Brothers, with their movies, up until Wonder Woman, I would even go as far as to say Justice League, never did that. They never said, what did we do wrong and how can we improve? They were so busy saying, this is what I do, this is who I am, I'm crossing my arms and digging in. Done. We're Warner Brothers, you get Superman, be happy. And that didn't work. It just didn't work. You know, that's what gave us Man of Steel. That's what gave us Batman versus Superman. But then as soon as they hired Patty Jenkins, who said, what didn't work in those movies? Oh my God, they don't understand the spirit of this character. Let me put the spirit of this character in it as a woman who... Let me put on screen the character that I want it to be and that I liked and that I think I have that in common with people. And we got Wonder Woman. And it was amazing. You know, in truth, had the director, I forgot who it was, but had the director of Green Lantern done that back in freaking, 2007, 2008? Had they done that, we would have had a DC Cinematic Universe a lot sooner. You know, in the same way that they do it with the CW shows.
They would have been able to beat Marvel to the punch.
Yeah, they would have. And it would have been... No, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have, because Iron Man was already out. But what they did was, we need a cinematic universe like Marvel, but we also want to do what we know people like, which is Nolanverse. And, yeah.
I just had a conversation about the Nolanverse yesterday.
You know, I thought the Nolanverse was great for Batman. However, if I were going to expand that into a universe, I would hire a different director for every hero.
Can I say this?
Mm-hmm.
Nolanverse aesthetically was beautiful. It had the feel of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of The Dark Knight, he made terrible choices with villains.
I agree.
A rookie Batman is not beating Ra's al Ghul. Sit down. A Batman Year One.
Be humble.
Yeah, like
sit down.
No, and I don't think Bane is a villain to end a trilogy on.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
In truth, I thought killing Two-Face was a bad call. Really bad call.
Would agree.
I think it was showing his origin was great for The Dark Knight. There's a lot of stuff about the Nolanverse that I liked, but a lot of missteps. You know, I thought that Scarecrow was fine to start off.
Yeah, and that was great.
I thought that the way that the Scarecrow was wrapped up was fine, but the
I would have loved to see a Nolan take on the Riddler. I wanted to see a real Enigma turn into the Riddler. I thought that would have the combination of the Riddler and Scarecrow in the first movie would have been dope.
And I had cast Javier Bardem as the Riddler. I'm already on that train with you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Dark Knight was perfect for a Nolan movie. I will agree with you. I don't believe in killing villains.
Yeah.
In superhero movies that don't die in canon.
Right. So But yeah,
even if you don't show them again in the next movie, there's just something to the universe knowing that that bad guy is still out there somewhere.
Absolutely,
just does something.
Absolutely.
But that's what I love what they did with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. I hated how Spider-Man kept killing the bad guys. Like in the first one, they killed the Green Goblin. I was like, no, now we're never gonna get a Sinister Six when they killed Dr. Octopus.
Okay, here was my thing with that. I know why they killed Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, and I wasn't mad at it because that is how the death of Gwen Stacy, or that is how the day Gwen Stacy died ended.
Okay,
that was the death of Norman Osborn. It happened exactly that way, up to and including Spider-Man dodging the glider and it impaling him against the wall. And that was one of the most important things in a Spider-Man comic, because Spidey wanted to kill. He wanted to kill the Green Goblin for Gwen Stacy, for vengeance. And when the Green Goblin died at Spider-Man's hands, Spider-Man was like, I thought I'd feel better. I was wrong. Everything just sucks. I'm going home. And that was an important moment in the Spider-Man canon. So I was cool with that. What I didn't like was killing Dr. Octopus in part 2.
Yeah.
You know, because Dr. Octopus isn't his number one villain, but he's my favorite.
He's still
of all of them.
Still Doc Ock.
Oh, Doc Ock he's a solid 2.
And that's what I love about Homecoming. Like, a lot of people had their gripes with it, but it's like Homecoming started setting up their bad guys. Like, we get the Vulture, he's in jail. He's in jail with Scorpion. The Shocker is still out there. It's like, I'm liking this. Hey, okay.
I ain't gonna lie. Homecoming is my jam. It is my favorite Spider-Man movie so
People
far.
are like, oh, we didn't do it. It's like, look, I know they made a lot of changes. I get that. But it's because they said they don't want to give you anything in the Spider-Man that you've already seen before.
Thank you.
Blame the previous Spider-Man movies for everything you didn't get out of Homecoming.
Well, no origin story. I don't want to see.
We've
Uncle
seen it
Ben
twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
it's like we don't need to see it again. We know what happens. It happened. I feel the same with Batman. Stop showing his parents die in the alley. All right.
I'm glad we're on the same thing. I don't need to know where Superman comes from. I don't need to watch the Waynes die. I don't need to watch Uncle Ben die. However,
that is a great way of the executives like pointing out, like, look, the audience already knows Spider-Man's origin, but just for movie sake, just bring it up, and they're just gonna assume it's the same thing that happened.
Okay, here's the thing though, and I think in another 20 years, it'll be time to show these origins again.
Okay, I can do 20 years.
The reason that I'm tired of seeing them now is because, one, you know, when I was a kid, there was no VHS. There was no way to own these movies. Okay?
You're old.
Yeah, and this technology is new. Just because it iterates every 5 years does not mean it's been here forever.
Okay.
But I remember when Tim Burton's Batman starring Michael Keaton came out on VHS. It was June 20th, 1990. And I got it because I watched the hell out of that movie.
I love that movie.
You know? I think it was okay.
Something about the darkness of it. Like, I remember that scene like so vividly. I was like 4 or 5. The scene where the penguin is like walking and he's like dying, and this penguin's like rolling into the water.
You're talking about
like,
Batman Returns.
I love that movie.
I'm talking about Batman with Jack Nicholson as the Joker. And Kim Basinger.
As soon as you bring up Burton, I just always think that's like,
and honestly, Batman Returns was Burton's Batman, not my Batman, but Burton's Batman. And that was his creative vision of the whole thing. And I didn't particularly like it. I thought it was a little silly. And then we had the Schumacher stuff. And as soon as I realized that was an homage to the Adam West show, I was a little better with it. But I didn't like the change of tone. But my point is that 1990 was the first year that we had access to repeatedly watching a superhero movie. Okay? The first time. Before that, if you were lucky enough to be rich enough to have a VCR, you might be able to tape Richard Donner's Superman off of Channel 7 if it came on, or Supergirl starring Helen Slater on Channel 13. Okay? If you didn't tape those off of TV, that was it. You weren't going to see these things again until they came back on TV. And this was, unless you had cable, in which case you were always at the mercy of the broadcaster. Ever since VHS hit, There's always been a way to watch these things repeatedly, but the companies haven't taken that into mind. So when we see Uncle Ben die in the Spider-Man cartoon of 1990, Spider-Man, spider blood, spider blood, spider blood.
That was a terrible impression, but okay.
Yeah, whatever. We saw him die there. Then we saw him die in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends back from when I was a kid. Then we saw him die in another rendition of the cartoon. Then we saw him die in Spectacular Spider-Man. And then we saw him die when Raimi did it. Then we saw him die when Webb did it. I'm like, look, 5 different mediums that are not comics that we get to see the same origin. And it's the same thing with Batman. So they need to keep in mind that not only have we seen this before, but everybody that would come and see these movies probably own a copy of Uncle Ben dying or the Waynes dying.
What does chat have to say about Uncle Ben dying?
Let's see here. Yeah, let's take a look at the chat. Let's see what
they fighting again.
No, let's see. Warner Brother puts out 3 that Spiderweb really likes. Campy Garbage. Supposedly it's in talks for a TV series. No, they're just talking about other stuff. They're not in this, but yeah. So the idea that we already own that stuff, it hasn't quite hit them entirely yet. Okay. Like, again, why was it necessary other than showing Negan and the super hot chick from The Watchmen on screen one more time? Why was it necessary to watch the Waynes die in Batman versus Superman?
Because we needed to see Negan. And I'm ready for him to reprise to come back and do, he needs to be Thomas Wayne again in Flashpoint. I need to see him with a gun walking around killing bad guys.
I ain't gonna lie, he would play the hell out of Bat Dad. He really would.
I need that.
And the truth is, that's the origin I want to see. But the Warner Brothers animated movies, they already did the hell out of that. The problem that I have is retconning to try and keep up with the kids these days when there's no representation of the kids these days to the people writing. Okay? Captain Marvel or Shazam. Okay? I have loved Billy Batson ever since I was 13.
I hate the trailer for that movie. I hate the trailer for that movie.
I like the trailer once he becomes Shazam, but here's the thing.
Giant foam looked too cartoonish to me. He was dancing to the Kendrick Lamar song. I was like, who made this trailer? You messed the tone up for me. This tone is for kids. This is for kids.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Captain Marvel has always been for kids.
Just for kids. It ain't for the people that grew up reading it.
You're right. You know why? Because they changed it at the New 52.
Okay.
At the New 50, like, the biggest difference that they did, which is me saying leave Billy Batson alone, Billy was a good kid. He was like Steven Universe levels of good. He was sticky sweet. He wasn't the bitter, angry, in and out of the system kid. He lived, if you watch, I believe it's DC Showcase from Warner Brothers, it has Jerry O'Connell, another animated thing, but it has Jerry O'Connell playing Shazam. But the Billy Batson from that, who's squatting in a place and doing the whole Aladdin thing and like sharing his Cheetos with the rat that lives in the apartment because he's just a good kid that cares about people, that's my Billy. What they're doing in the movie is the Billy of, well, he's a teenager, he hasn't really had many people to rely on, so he has walls, but they did that to give a juxtaposition of what he's like once he gets the powers. And yeah, this is a movie for kids, and it was always supposed to be for kids. Like, this is one of the comics, much like Scooby-Doo, much like Archie, that is, look at this kid fanatic. This is kid. This is for the kids. This ain't for the Lifetime comic readers. At New 52, they changed that. But speaking of the people that have been reading the comics ever since forever, and we're running out of time, I want to go over this thing here. There we go. Yeah, I want to go over this thing here because we promised in the description that we were going to be talking about another specific thing. And that specific thing, my friend, is going to be the juxtaposition between two characters. You brought up DC and Marvel have been ripping off each other forever, right? Alright, so what does this trailer remind you
My father was a lighthouse keeper. My mother was a queen. But life is a way of bringing people together.
Get unite our worlds one day. Check it out. Arthur is talking to the fish.
They made me what I am.
of? I don't care what anybody says, I love that shot.
Permission to come aboard.
I've been looking for you. Your half-brother, King Orm, is about to declare war upon the surface world. The only way to stop this war is for you to take your rightful place as king.
Trust me, I am no king.
You do your best thinking when you're not thinking at all.
That was the age of talk. Ever.
I want to strap in. Welcome home.
I love this part.
My brother has come to the surface. Challenge me for the throne. I call it an ass whooping.
Is Forrest Whitaker somewhere?
Yeah.
I'm no leader.
Someone has already done like literally a side-by-side shot-for-shot comparison of both films. It's literally the Black Panther trailer.
People that I love.
You think you're only with Italy because you're of two different worlds. That is exactly why you are worthy.
That was awesome. The war is coming to the surface. And I'm bringing the wrath of the seven seas with me.
Shiny.
What are you doing?
You never parachute.
Redhead, you gotta love him.
I'm not Captain America.
Right? Did someone think that that was funny? Like, are they just sitting here studying Marvel trailers? Like, okay, still that beat, still this one.
The truth? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
They need to stop doing that because it makes me. When I don't respect something, I don't support it.
Okay. Now, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here with a thought of my own on this one, which is, I don't mind that it's beat for beat the Black Panther, because Black Panther and Aquaman have always
They
been
always have
parallel.
had parallels.
Yes,
Yes.
they've always had parallels. They're both reluctant kings of a hyper advanced
Society
society
that secretly always existed.
that's
Yeah.
hidden away
Yeah.
from everywhere.
Okay.
They're both reluctant, you know. Well, Aquaman is more, or Orin is more reluctant than Chala. And they both handle the things in different ways. Like, I've always seen more parallels between Black Panther and Aquaman than I have between Submariner and Aquaman.
Agreed.
You know, but I don't know. What do you think? Because I know the story arc that this is based on. Okay, if you haven't read it, because I know you're not a DC reader. Okay, but this is actually based on the war for Atlantis, or the battle for the throne
Okay.
for Atlantis, and it is a stock standard story. Okay, essentially Aquaman going, "What? I'm part of an underwater civilization," and Orm, his brother, going, "The other heir to the throne, my mother's bastard son, is out there somewhere, and I must kill him before he usurps my throne, and then I'm going to declare war on the surface world," which is more terrifying a concept than most people want to give credit to. And of course, you know, they fight.
Not in a universe where you have an active Superman. It made sense in Flashpoint when if the Atlantis turns on the Earth, but you got a Superman. No, I ain't afraid of no Atlanteans.
Go on.
Oh my god, a bunch of creatures coming from the ocean. They're all dead in like one swoop of like his heat beam. Dead.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now
We're gonna lose some coastal cities. Hopefully Florida.
oh,
Like take the whole state, not
Florida's
just Miami.
gone.
Take
Florida
the
is
whole.
gone.
Just get rid of Florida.
Um,
Keep Cali though. I'm in Cali. I love
No,
Cali.
no, Cali's going too.
Nah, bro.
Step one of the
Just
Atlantean
immerse
war
it.
effort. Step one: tsunamis on every continent. That's step one. That's their opening volley.
Superman's got to go.
Yeah, but he can't do that on the west coast of of Northern America, west coast of South America, Australia, the UK, Europe. Like he can't do that on the 5 populated continents at the same time. That's the thing. It is literally an Atlantean coordinated strike where all of the coasts of the surface world are immediately flooded and sank simultaneously. That's step one. It's literally dropping the nuke before you send in the ground troops. So they open with destroying everything coastal with a tsunami. You know, I mean, I don't know about you, but that's terrifying.
Only because we live in California.
Even if it's not just even if we didn't live in California, the amount of power and will that takes is terrifying. And then they send their ground troops in with postmodern technology mixed with magic. Any Atlantean soldier can kill Superman. Anyone.
Not if he gets them first.
He might be able to get them first, but he's not everywhere at all times. And that's the thing. Everybody jokes about how BVS could have ended if those bullets that Batman shot him with during that fight were kryptonite or magic. And every gun of the Atlantean army is a magic gun, just like the Themyscirians' weapons are also magic. So all of them can take out Superman. All of them. Each individual foot soldier could take out Superman. Like Atlantis is nothing to mess with. They are literally terrifying, like a really terrifying army. And fortunately, Superman ain't going to be in this movie, which I'm cool with because hopefully, and this actually came out in the storyline of Battle for Atlantis. And they've got monsters. They've just got monsters.
Monsters is cool.
Yeah, they got kaiju. If you take a look back at that one scene, Jason State. I mean, dude, look at these fools. Okay? Look at these fools. They are riding sharks.
I think those are megalodon.
Yeah.
And a mosasaur.
Yeah. And okay, these fools right here, they are riding
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're riding dinosaurs and eating Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords in the middle of from the movie Moana. I mean, seriously. So they ride monsters into combat. Yeah, they ride monsters into combat because they can, with magic weapons and technology that we haven't discovered yet. So I mean, that's terrifying. And again, first volley, tsunamis everywhere. Second volley, ground troops that all have magic weapons. And if you try and get at them, they have flying cars, motorcycles, and monsters. And
It's only one man that can stop all that.
Hmm?
Batman.
I give no damn about your prep time. Not one damn about
Give
your
Batman 10 minutes.
You know.
He's figured it out.
No, Batman is smart enough to go, no, you don't mess with Arthur.
No.
You know. And if you watch the old cartoons, Batman was the one saying, no, don't mess with him. Don't mess with him. He can ruin us all. Leave him alone. Because Batman was smart enough to know what he was dealing with. He was always the one saying, don't mess with the Martian, don't mess with Aquaman, and for God's sake, don't mess with the Flash. You know. So, but yeah, so all in all, but the parallels with Black Panther, that's what I want to talk about while we're here. Parallels, yeah, the parallels between him and the Black Panther. Atlantis has magic, Wakanda has vibranium. So I'm looking at what the Black Panther could have been for this movie, and it could have been better. It could have been different. It could have been worse. I'm really hoping
The
it's not
Aquaman
worse.
trailer looks amazing. However, I know better than to trust Warner. I think it's going to be mediocre. Because Suicide Squad looked amazing. It
Okay.
was trash.
You know what? I will back you on
Hell,
that.
Justice
Hell,
League looked like it was going to be fun.
BVS looked amazing.
The,
And
the
look at what we
beginning,
got.
the history of my letdowns.
Yeah. All right, so I will give you that. So you're not trusting. You're not trusting it. It's. You
They have
heard
let
too
me.
many
I've
times.
gone. I've paid what? I take a girl. I paid $16 for just me. So with her and snacks, I pay $45 to $50 every time I go to these theaters. And I got a Wonder Woman for free. That's when I first like became a comic book artist. And I was like, oh, this one was good. And then I like a dumb. Oh, they're doing better. And I paid to go see Justice League and was let down again. No more, Warner. Nope. Cool. Y'all got to give me 5 good movies before I start paying again.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. Of course, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep.
I saw
going.
BVS twice too, like a dummy. Paid both times.
You had to make.
Because I went with 2 different groups of friends. I was like, well, maybe I'm gonna watch it again, and maybe if I pay attention, it's gonna be good. No, it was bad.
Okay, all right. So, I'm about to bring up another thing. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna bring up another thing, and we gonna have words. I've already covered with you what we are not covering in regards to this. All right.
Why it's okay to?
Yeah, no. I've already covered. You know, we are on the same page with that. All right, but chat, I want your guys' help with this too. Okay, so
Join me,
I'm
chat.
looking at you guys.
Join
alright?
the dark side.
So, let's see what we got with the most controversial comic book movie trailer that's coming out. Okay, let's take a look. Problem 1.
Oh God.
See, I'm cool with this. I'm really cool with this,
I'm
given
not.
the character.
I'm not.
Okay, like I was fine with this part.
He's
I'm
some
like,
type of police officer.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that ain't Dick.
yeah. It is.
That ain't Dick.
Yeah, it
That
is.
ain't my Dick.
Nobody wants to pay $18 to see your dick.
You don't know that, man.
Okay, but what I will say is, when he became Nightwing and moved to Bloodhaven, he did join the police force.
So he's supposed to be Nightwing. All right. So I'm gonna give you credit because you did say we gotta wait. If he's living in Bloodhaven now, I'm willing to go. Okay, so this is kind of some new Titans, and I'm gonna be willing to give it a shot. But if he's just regular Dick, me and Batman are beefing, and I'm still living in Gotham or on the outskirts of Gotham, not having it. Go.
Okay.
Stop half-assing it. Go all the way.
Okay, you know what? I'm cool with the go hard or go home.
Because I'm willing to accept, because that would be a great setup. That in this, for longevity purposes, they set up Robin becoming Nightwing. That's
And
dope.
Hawk and Dove. So I'm like, what are you thinking?
I'm not into Hawk and Dove. They've always been like a DC Cloak and Dagger to me.
I used to think that. I was wrong.
And now, truth, I don't mind what they're doing with Raven.
I do
had
because
a
she was
few-
one of my favorite Teen Titans. Because I've always been in like the supernatural and demons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's supposed to already know about her origins. Already know about Azrath and how to use magic and stuff like that. I don't want you to set up a. You give me a rookie Raven, but I got a veteran Robin. Come on, man.
Again,
It's bad enough I'm not getting a cyborg.
I'm not saying I disagree. What I am saying is, looking at this particular change, I'm willing to give it a shot. Now, what I don't like, okay, what I don't
I will
like,
hate watch episode 1.
See, the Hawk and Dove thing, that kind of troubles me.
I don't know enough about them, so I gotta give them a chance.
Okay, now, you say they're kind of like a low rank Cloak and Dagger.
I didn't say low rank. I
Okay.
said DC.
Okay,
but
DC.
you translated it as low rank. I see.
The truth is, those two are a decent team. Okay, one is about war, one is about peace. Because Hawk is a bird of prey, Dove is, return like the white dove and all that stuff. And they're a team that balances each other out, but they're not as codependent as as Cloak and Dagger.
Right,
Believe it or
because they
not.
kind of need to work together. It's like, you got the dagger, I'm invisible. Let's go.
Yeah, even beyond that, Cloak, if he doesn't get Dagger's light, he becomes evil. And he starts like, oh, you're a sin. And then he sees somebody commit any crime, absorbs them into his cloak, and freaking gone. And, yeah, so he becomes a murderer if Dagger isn't around. Hawk and Dove, on the other hand, one, they're brothers. You know, Henry and Daniel, they're brothers. That's what they are. And it was always the jock brother and the genius brother. They're the two opposites that show how just because you're not alike, you can complement each other. And that was always very cool about those two, especially when Barbara was writing. But then Don, the brother that was Dove, he got killed and they replaced him with a girl. But those two have always been war and peace, and how when they work together, there is a balance that has to be maintained between the two, so you can't have one all the time, which was very cool. And they were in the Titans for a little while, but they didn't do much in the Titans. They weren't that important. And when I say they weren't that important, they weren't Cyborg. They weren't Beast Boy. They weren't Nightwing. They weren't Aqualad. You know.
He said Aqualad. They
Yeah.
weren't Speedy.
Yeah, they weren't Speedy. Oh, they definitely weren't Speedy. You know, they weren't Donna Troy. You know, so it's like, I get why they would choose to not have certain characters, like Cyborg, for example. He's tied up in the cinematic universe, so they're not going to do that there. All right, fine. Don't give me Cyborg. I can live without Cyborg. But if you're giving me Changeling, and you're giving me Starfire, and you're giving me Raven, you gotta give me some other people to offset that. And they said, here, have a Hawk and Dove. And I'm going, give me Aqualad. You know, yeah, give me Garth. Garth is awesome. Give me Speedy. Oh no, wait, he's already on another show. Oh wait, no, he's not. He's been taken off of Arrow. But cross that over. You know, if it's gonna be part of that same universe where, with Supergirl and the Flash and the Legends of Tomorrow, dude, yeah, bring over Speedy. You know, bring over Red Arrow, rather.
I don't think it's going to be part of the same universe
It should.
because of the TVMA.
Yeah, that's, and that
Or
right
this
there.
would be a great opportunity for the heroes of other shows to do more mature things.
Yeah, I get that, because they tried. They really tried to do the more mature themes, and it didn't work for the network that they were on, and they were
I
afraid to
thought
be
it
there.
it kind of worked with the early seasons of The Arrow when he was killing people. I was like, oh man, I like this.
That did start kind of cool, but I'm talking about Constantine.
I have not even watched Constantine.
Dude, that show was on point. That show was really on point. But
I was never a fan of the comic book, so I wouldn't know what to judge off of. But I think that's sometimes the best way to go about it. Like, hey, do you just enjoy the show for what it is, not knowing any of the source material? I feel like that's a great way to
it's
just...
funny that you've been arguing against me taking that perspective from day one.
Okay, hear me out. My thing is this. I'm not saying it's good, but if you just want to enjoy a show, it might help to not have any preconceived notions going in.
You know I agree. You know that's what I try and enter into.
No, but I also agree with that. I just don't agree with the director like changing it. Like if you like something, it's okay that you like it, especially if you don't know the comic book. But when the director's like, I know the comic book, but I don't care because my vision is better. Nah, like, no, screw you.
Oh, real quick, gotta answer the chat. Yeah, to that question from Clever Vixen, it's still the same character. He had both names, Beast Boy and Changeling.
Changeling.
But what I'm saying about Constantine, okay? Now Constantine, it was from the same producers of all the other shows, and you want to talk about adult themes? The dude was in the sewers and he was knifed by a nun to be left as bait for a demon to tear him apart while she saved a baby.
That's awesome.
That was like episode 6. And you know what? That's straight out of the spirit of the comic books. Because the comics of Constantine / Hellblazer is dark. That shit is dark. It ended with a glimpse of the Spectre. And the Spectre is DC's Ghost Rider, except he's way Old Testament. And when I say Old Testament, he says, you were guilty.
Speaking of Ghost Rider.
First I'm going to turn you into a pillar of salt, then I'm going to hose you down.
Shout out to Felipe Smith coming back as a writer on his second run of
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Nah, the actual comic book. He's getting a second run with Robbie Reyes.
You know, I gotta say, Robbie Reyes is seriously growing on me.
He is my favorite Ghost Rider.
I'm a Johnny Blaze guy, but I am gonna say, I like him better than Danny Ketch.
His powers are cooler. He's got a car that's immaterial if it wants to be. So he can have the car like drive through him, and it just like puts him in the car, but it hits you. Or if he's trying to save someone, he can have the car hit all of them, but it saves the one person he wants. Like it like goes through people.
Have you been reading Avengers 1 Million BC?
No.
Yeah. Jaime Reyes, or in the current run of the Avengers.
Robbie Reyes.
Yeah, right. Sorry, Jaime Reyes was Blue Beetle. There are more last names than Ramirez and Gonzalez comic writers. Yeah, Robbie Reyes got taught, I think it was by Thor, but somebody correct me on that, that the car, that's nice, but he's not bound to it, and he took over the body of a dead Celestial.
Really?
Oh, yeah, that was what the Ghost was writing. And he's like, I had no idea I could do this. And I'm reading that comic going, yes!
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That gives me the awesome that I want from my comic books. But all in all, I'm willing to give Titans a shot. I'm not going to hate watch it. I'm going to just watch it.
I'm hate watching you Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to just watch it. I might hate watch Cloak and Dagger because it's Disney.
It's
ABC
cinematically
Disney.
beautiful.
It is cinematically beautiful. I ain't gonna argue that. What I'm concerned about is Disney's take on an interracial relationship.
Ooh.
Is it gonna be Eros and Agape? Is it gonna Eros or Agape? Number one, because in the book it's very ambiguous as to how they love each other. And two, are they gonna make her strong by making him weak?
Because they did that to Finn in Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so unnecessary. It's like, it's bad enough he was obviously set up to be force sensitive, and you took that away from him. You ain't got to make him a little punk too. It's bad enough you showed me he was a stormtrooper. So, a stormtrooper turned good, but then he wasn't even a real stormtrooper. He was cleaning up.
Yeah,
like y'all did him Finn all the way dirty, bro.
I'm not gonna argue with that. But what I will argue is that the actress that plays Rose shouldn't have gotten all the hate that she got.
So
she did that role great.
I have an opinion about that.
Oh, you don't say.
I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard it was like maybe 1 or 2 people that actually harassed her, and that she deleted her Instagram to unrelated matters. There's no official record of her coming out and saying I left Instagram because of harassment.
Okay, I will say on that. I don't know why she left Instagram.
Right.
But my point is that they shouldn't get harassment for doing their goddamn
If she
job.
got harassment, that is some
That's
BS.
some BS.
And
yeah.
even though I hate The Last Jedi, what did she have to do? She acted how she didn't write the script.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not that character in real life.
And see,
it's not her fault.
Yeah, and there was one actress that really put me on that mindset. Really, one actress that started me on this and got me hating it so hard. And you know who that actress was? Anna Gunn. Okay, she is the beautiful woman who plays Skylar in Breaking Bad. I hated Skylar.
Hated Skylar. I gotta disagree. If I see her in real life, I'm throwing something at her.
Why?
I'm being facetious.
Okay, because I'm about to say.
You ruined it all.
No, because I may make the joke. I seriously might.
People
make the
harassed
joke.
her.
Oh God, yeah. Oh
That's
my God.
so stupid because she was a great actor.
She did the hell out of that role.
Her character was just a piece of shit.
Yeah, and you know what? That's just like, I may make the joke of wanting to beat the shit out of Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave when I see him, but I'm not going to do it.
Right.
I'm not going to harass him for playing that asshole nigger-breaking slave owner to the best of his ability. I'm not going to beat up Leonardo DiCaprio for his part in Django Unchained. It's his job to make me hate him on that. So I'm not going to be mad at him doing his job, especially when I know that that's not what he's like. And the actress who played Rose, she played a really cool character. I liked her a lot. Everything about her was don't meet your heroes because you're going to be disappointed. But she was one of the only characters that was left in this new trilogy that honestly believed in good. Like good versus evil, you know, forget the Force, forget all that stuff. She wanted freedom and good and wanted to protect the people that she genuinely loved. Not in the name of the Empire, but because she didn't want anybody else dying like her sister did. And I thought that was great.
It was poorly fleshed out. It would have been a little better had we seen her in the first movie and then it was elaborated on in the second movie.
See, I disagree. Because
she didn't have enough screen time for me to care that was her reason.
We
didn't get to know her sister good enough before she died.
Didn't need to. Although it does almost fall under the girl in the refrigerator trope. Okay.
I don't believe in that trope. I don't believe in that trope.
What do you mean?
So, people love to be victims in today's society. The trope, for it to exist, has to work both ways. Is it a refrigerator trope when the father dies? Because that happens just as often as girlfriends.
Okay, I get where you're going on that. And
we were just talking about Uncle Ben.
Yeah, no,
Thomas Wayne.
I'm with you on that. I totally understand.
Uncle Eli.
Hey man, hey, let's have a moment for Uncle Eli. I definitely get where you're going from on that, and that is a very fair point. But again, we didn't need to know Rose's sister. We saw everything that we needed to know about her. We saw she was badass. She Doctor Strange loved that bombing. You know, she was the same person that was like, okay, the bomber thing is going. Oh, our bomber is broken. I got to get down there in person and unjam the thing. And then when it unjammed, she fell with the bombs. In that scene,
magical gravity.
Yep, yeah, right. But yeah, so she did that job. She did the job. She was cool. We would have liked to know a little bit more about her, and then she died. And then we see her little sister. That's like she gave her life so that the rest of us could be okay. That's all we needed to know in relation to Rose. Rose is like, she was my sister. She died in a way that was what's the term? Noble. And I am now going to make sure that I don't waste the life that she gave to make sure that I could live. You know, and again, I liked her character. Now, what they did to Finn, I don't want to sound like I'm playing that race victim card. I really don't. But we finally get a black man front and center on a Star Wars thing, and they treat him poorly.
No, we get to, because it's like, it's only him in the movie. Like, dude, come on, man. How you gonna do us like that, bro? Like, we just got one. Like, we get one a series.
It's true.
We do. We get Samuel Jackson. We get Lando.
And now we got Finn.
And it's like, we only get one. Can he be cool? Like, your character gets to be cool?
Yeah.
Just in a different way?
I'm right there with you. And I'm even tempted to say, you know, between Billy D. Williams and Donald Glover, eat his heart and take his power, they used up all the cool. Nobody else is as cool as those two.
No, Samuel Jackson was dope, bro. Come on, first Jedi.
He was all right.
First Jedi to master the light and dark side of the Force.
But see, here's the thing.
He had a purple lightsaber.
Here's the thing, though.
Do you think it was grape flavored?
No, he...
That's racist. I know.
Now, here's the thing. Sam Jackson got in there when it was still enough cool to be left. We had Lando in 2 movies. That was cool, right? But then came Sam Jackson. He had some cool. But then came Finn, and it was like, I guess he could potentially be cool. Then we got Donald Glover. Steal his heart, take his power.
For me, what I love about Finn in the first movie, he kind of started off a coward. But at the end of the movie, he redeemed himself. He was like, no, I got to fight for something. You got to stand up sometimes.
Yeah.
And he fought. And I'm okay with him losing because I didn't expect him to win.
But boy, did he lose.
No, but it was, he held his ground. This is a guy who's killed other Jedi before that were trained. He held his ground. That was cool.
Oh, no, I'm not upset about him losing and going into a coma. Okay, I'm not. What I'm upset is
that he woke up and it started all over.
And it was a joke.
Yeah, it was
all a joke.
Like, bro, he stood up against Kylo Ren, the guy you were all afraid of a few years ago.
Yeah.
Great job, Rian Johnson. Nice consistency.
Oh, man. But you know what? We are officially out of time, actually. We're going a little bit over.
Wah.
Yeah, hey, you know what? It's one of those things, you know. we get into these discussions, and yeah, there we go.
I think we had a nice, healthy discussion.
Yeah, I think we did, and believe it or not, you are improving.
Oh, shucks.
You know what? I give it up when it's actually worth giving up some credit. I will give it because you know, you're getting along. You know, we got to work on a more consistent schedule.
My job has to work on a more consistent schedule.
Yeah, no, I get that. But so again, thank you for showing up today. Thank you guys in the chat, all the people that are still watching and all that stuff. And what are your thoughts on today's conversations? If you you know, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of the Titans trailer? What do you think of the Aquaman thing? You know, what do you think? Let us know. I'd like to know. I'm very interested. And you can let us know by hitting us at backinthedeck@gmail.com. You can also hit us at YouTube. You know, as you guys are watching on us now, that's YouTube/bidp, BID space P. You can hit us up on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at backinthedeck. And please follow us on the Facebook. Big fan of the Facebook. Join the Deckers on the book. That is our discussion group where you can give us your pictures, your thoughts. You know, start conversations. Even give us links to nonsense that you see that falls within our category. If you're like, man, what do y'all guys think about this? Who knows? We might talk about it on the show. If you guys are like us and don't have time to watch this every time it comes down, that's cool. Because we have an archive up on YouTube, and our audio archive is up for download on SoundCloud/bid_P. That is SoundCloud/BID_P. And follow us on the Instagram at backinthedeck. Now, Mr. Sable, everybody's favorite villain. How can they get a hold of you?
You can come harass me on Facebook, Sable Nance, SableNance, or on Instagram as Sable_rocks, ROXX. Twitter under the same name. I'm always here for the smoke.
And with that, thank you guys for another episode of Coffee and Conversation. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so we do not have a show. But I do believe that we might be coming in with a table talk on Thursday morning. That's Thursday morning, actually more like Thursday, sometime between 11:30 and noon. But with that, I'm going to say, if people tell you that you can't like the movies you like or have the hobbies you like or even like the games and all that other stuff that you like, as long as you ain't hurting nobody because of the circumstances of your birth, be it your race, religion, creed, disability, sexual preference, gender identity, or because you are poor, you just tell them to take those cards and put them back in the deck. This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time on Coffee and Conversation.